I am observing. The eye of the beholder is for focus, for thought. Paying attention in this present moment is to witness the progression of thought. The observer is observing as a process. The observer is also being observed in a feedback loop of perception. The cohesion of it all is the centripetal force of love. This is so that being and observing it all means that love might not go unnoticed or unknown. Welcome to the show. I am observing with Karen, Christy, and Patrick. That's me. Thanks for listening.
Hello, my name is Karen, and this is my observation for this present moment. This session is called The Quest I Own, which, say it fast enough and you end up with the word, the question, the quest I own. I'll be reading from the book Thought Equals Matter, which I've said before was a stream of consciousness writing I did a couple years ago. I'm reading from the passage in Chapter 8, An Allegory, and I'll be on page 35 if you decide to get the book, which I hope you do. It's free. And the allegory was the idea of a theater and how just before the play begins, there's a period of time where the actors get ready and the props get ready and the stage is, a lot of things are happening behind the curtain and the orchestra is tuning up. And it's an allegory about manifestation. It's an allegory about how things come into our reality. So this is from page 35, and it gets into this concept, the quest I own. It is time for all to commence in the space. The stage lights come up, the house lights come down to bring attention's focus toward the stage, dimming all distraction. The tap, tap, tap of the baton of the conductor begins the action. Musical notes from the score spill forth, enlivening words from the playwright's imagination. Imagination, the mighty, creative word, image in I shine. The words spin action through space. The words now made flesh in the lighted space. What was once no time is the happening. What was once no space is a window into some kind of reality for those who observe and for those who give their all. The poor players, those walking shadows, portray characters in affected narratives projected into the mind's eye. This is not just for one shining moment, but the theatrical artifice creates experience, an experience that is written on a page one day in the life of each, both player and observer. Powerful this, theatrics, used by player, prophet, priest, and king. Theatrics can build experience into the web of shared consciousness, creating the illusion of relevance, importance, worthy of attention. Theatrics, theo-tricks, tricks of the gods, how ancient god kings, by instruction of their magi watchers, did capture the adoration of those they did subject. Theatrics, the ability to build a shared reality from a long moment shared by an audience, building a reality out of that which by ordinary means could not be made real. Is this God trick? The prime creator's grand joke? Is that how then it all is? A contrived reality, a space and time from no time, no space? We can feel manipulated, or we can begin to learn a manifesting destiny found in the question underlying it all. It is the Creator's question. What if? We are all creators, created to create, created to wield our arts of imagination, to create and define a sub-reality from the implicate order, the bare stage. In the realm of the stage, the playwright's what-if question is played out. Who is the prime creator, the grand playwright, or shall each decide for the self? What is the fundamental question asked, out from which all has flowed? Is there really an answer to these questions? Or just more observations and better, more refined questions? The question, the quest I own, is a quest, never-ending, open-ended. The answer, the and swear. If you stop the questions and swear, attest to a final solution in a credibility maneuver, the quest stops. The Creator's impetus is a heartbeat. What if? What if? What if? This is how it is so that we have a universe always in motion, spiraling on. I hope you enjoyed that reading. Again, it's from the book Thought Equals Matter by me, Karen Christine Patrick, or Casey Patrick. And you can find it at tinyurl.com/thought equals. And it is a free ebook, or you can donate, either way, your choice. This was a real free-flowing project that happened. So to me, it comes from ether space or higher mind or something. I learned something every time I read out of it, because it's got a lot of interesting ideas about thought, the realm of thought. And the quest I own is the question. And I think an important thing that this passage was talking about, a couple of things. One is that the answer, we think in terms of question, answer, question, answer, question, answer. And a number of thinkers and philosophers, and most notably Socrates, who very famously, the Socratic method is to just ask questions and ask better questions, and questions related to those questions, because his feeling about knowledge was it was just like a vast ocean, and we really don't know anything, and all we can do is explore ideas and questions, which was so offensive to the people who had attained some level of knowledge that they literally made him commit suicide. I mean, it's a dangerous idea, because we have many, many organizations, spiritual organizations, political organizations, our corporate world, our academia, all are built in a pyramidic sort of style. They're built on layers and levels of knowledge. So our academic one, most notably, is I got partially through a bachelor's degree, and I got sick, and I stopped, and I philosophically stopped. In other words, I didn't want to pursue it because I wasn't feeling it, on whether I was getting the information I needed or the questions I had weren't being explored. They weren't even being asked. But yeah, you'd go to, university, it'd be bachelor's degree, master's degree, PhD, multiples of any of those. Many people then go on to pursue a profession, and they get pretty far down the road and they realize there's something missing from that experience. So back to the quest I own, or the question. So at one point in my life after this experience at university, I made the decision I was very frustrated with the educational system. And I have to throw something in here. My early experiences with the public educational systems had something in it that made me suspicious of the educational program. And what happened, and it's a strange story, but I've now met other people who've been through the same thing, is that what happened, and it's a strange story, but I have now met other individuals who've been through this, and we've all correlated our information together. And I was born in California, and I reached school age in California, in Central California. And California, we're at the height of the Cold War. Everybody's afraid the bomb's going to drop on us, that we were worried about the commies. So it was a very paranoid period of time. And the California school system instituted something called Project Talent, which, if you were to look it up, would seem rather innocuous. They just simply wanted to identify gifted and talented children so that they would be given a leg up on becoming future engineers, scientists, educators, etc. And it was a real heady project at the time. It was the time of the Apollo moon landing. So, oh my gosh, these kids might even go up into space someday. We thought we would. I was identified as one of those kids and was in a special class. And this is when it got weird, because what most people don't know was that, the United States and Russia and all the major powers have sort of a hidden side to them, where they also want to find gifted and talented psychic children, or kids that could remote view or could, remote access information. And they were looking for remote viewers. Now, remote viewing is a little bit more well-known these days because it has sort of come out of the closet or been declassified or whatever. So I was in this early program, and through a long story, I was taken out of it. But in this process, I became very dubious of the entire education program. I was wondering, what are they trying to do to me, And I learned to shut up around the grown-ups. At first I was very open, and this is what I'm thinking, and my thoughts were very advanced for a young child. And ultimately, I gravitated toward computer science. But what attracted me to computer science was information. What attracted me to information in a computer and the information age was basically interacting with thought in its natural habitat. Thought in its natural habitat is shared consciousness. And so now we have gone down this road, and a lot of people have become aware of the fact that we share consciousness. And a person like me, and probably someone like you listening, is someone who's got questions. The normal answers of who am I, why am I here, most important questions a sentient person asks themselves. What's my purpose in life? Do I have a mission in life? What is that mission in life? How can I make the world a better place? I hope you're asking those questions instead of negative questions like, how can I get mine? How can I get back at people? I mean, those are magical questions of another kind, right? These are magical questions. These are imagination. Image in, I shine, as it says in that passage, image in. So you're going within, and you see that you shine. You're shining a light within. So the aforementioned A.R. Borden I mentioned it before in the second episode of this series, but I also got to talk to him again the same week I made that series. That second episode, I also got to talk to him on another radio program. And it's on freedomslips.com. It's called Sacred Matrix, and I got to